Rama, I still call him Rama, the character name, Rajiv, who troubled me the most on set. He really behaved like that naughty student throughout. And yeah, badly behaved, sweet. And these two smallies, oh God, they're both brother and sister. We are really lucky to have cast a real life brother and sister. In fact, the audition was for him. He and she had tagged along. I don't know whether shadily. And then I
Definitely
saw
shadily.
just like मैं इसकी बहन हूँ type. And then I said, oh my God, why don't you audition? And that's how these two. And I'm like, this chemistry will be fabulous because they're anyway like little fighty type then. So yeah, that's how
That fighting part came very naturally.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think Rajiv, even I was going to call you Rama because even Sri ma'am used to call you Rama. Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep it light, but we'll try. Light and bright. So let me, I think, sort of get the difficult part out of the way. And this whole evening is about Sri ma'am and remembering her. And of course, Rakesh ji, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, we must remember him. And Sulabha ji, Sulabha Deshpande, she was, who played the mother of Satish, Shri ma'am's mother-in-law in the film. Sujata Kumar, she played Shri ma'am's older sister in the film. She's not with us anymore. And a very, very special person, the Hope team, Anil Naidu, who is, again, it's kind of one is, doesn't have the words to say what he meant to the company, to Balki, to Gauri, and to the film. So it's kind of hard because, yeah, 10 years, when you see that, when I was watching that video, it seemed like, you know, oh, this was yesterday. It didn't feel like it was such a long time ago. But now when you kind of recall those who, those joyous moments that have fleeted now, you feel that, okay, yeah, it's been 10 years. So, yeah, I'm sure we all remember them fondly. And moving from there, Gauri, let's start with you. And tell us about this date, this first date that you had with Sridevi.
Yeah, I always, I refer to it as a blind date because that was the first time I met her. So quickly, to briefly, to give you a background, Balki had met Boni for some other film conversation or something, and Shri happened to be there. And Balki said, I'm not doing a film right now, it's my wife who's doing a film. And Shri just was intrigued and asked him, can you tell me what this is about? And Balki gave her a one-liner of English Vinglish, and she was very intrigued. She wanted to know more, and she said, can I hear the story? And next thing, of course, I've put on my clothes and I'm in her house and with my script. And she was there, so lovely, simple, and she sat there. I loved her energy instantly. And I narrated the script to her. As soon as I finished narrating, she looked at me and said, Gauri, I don't know about you, I would like to do this. And I was like, I mean, of course, whatever. And I think, which is why I say I call it a date, because I fell in love with her, and I think both of us kind of fell in love with each other. At that point, there was an instant connection beyond, and it has been like that, beyond actor, director. And I think that's what also sort of comes out in the film, because that bond, connection, understanding of the scene, performances, the nuances, all was just because we were so in sync. And so was the whole team. It started with the two of us, and yeah, that was first love.
Well, I can relate to that because I feel so privileged that I was given this opportunity to just be around her and then be part of this film, which is so special. And now 10 years later, I'm here. So, I mean, this too is an honor to be able to do this. I relate to what you're saying because when Gauri called me and she said, would you be interested in kind of this sort of, you know, job profile, you know, supervising, being sort of the dialogue coach for Sridevi. So I was like, for who? You know, what? So she said, you know, let's go and meet her and we'll go over to her house. And we went to her house and that's how I felt, because I was that kid who watched Lamhe 13 times in Bandra talkies, just to kind of see how she jumps on those grapes, which are, so for me it was like when I was there and I was rather quiet and in the background, and finally my first question to her was, what should I call you? So she said, call me Shri. So I said, how can I call you Shri? She said, because it's my name. So please call me that. Moving from there, the whole, she was the leader of the pack in that sense with the cast, but the whole ensemble, tell us something about getting this madcap but brilliant group together.
I was really lucky that this doesn't usually happen where every peg gets so correctly cast, and the energy of the entire team, every person from the crew to the cast, it was like, so much in sync. And I don't know what it was, that it just happened, starting with Shri, and then everything and everyone falling in place. So yeah, the first person, Lakshman, of course, because you need your partner. It's like a marriage literally on film where, if we both are not in sync, nothing can. We didn't fight also, no? No, never. So
I used to be quiet.
okay, so it was one way, clearly. So, so I've worked with Lakshman in ad films before. And, we really got along. Again, it's like that. I work with people I have a good energy with, and I've always liked his energy, and we've got along really well and liked his work, of course. So he was very enthusiastic as soon as I said, I have this film. And he said, yeah, I want to work. Well, first, no feature? No. Okay, forget. We'll call it for. Anyway, so he was very excited, and that's how he came on board. And okay, so I'll quickly just say how the rest of them. Swanand had worked with Balki on Pa, and I just stole him from there. And Amit Trivedi, again, I was dying to work with, and that's how Amit happened. Hemanti's work I had seen, and I really wanted to work with her, so that's why. And Rasool, it was so, we were lucky to have gotten him. This was my first film. He was an Oscar winner, and he just, again, oh, Sridevi ma'am's film, of course I'm doing this. So yeah, so we had an Oscar winner on board. And Mustafa is the art director. He was also someone I worked with. We worked together in ad films. So that's how all my HODs, I might be missing someone, but please forgive me. Who is putting up their hand? Rishi, you were not part of this film. Is that you? Okay. Then my cast, which was amazing. Mehdi, Laurent, how I met him was in New York. I was there writing the script, and very randomly, I don't know how I landed up in this strange private club, and we were on this terrace, and Mehdi was there. He had just stepped out. He was there for a Ridley Scott screening where he had a role to play, and we got talking, and I said, I don't even think I spoke about the film, but we exchanged numbers, and because he was an actor, and we all really got along. There was a group of people. But I never thought this is how we'll end up working together. And then I connected with him much later. And he was like, yeah, Bollywood movie. And he was on. So didn't need much convincing. And yeah, the Rajiv was found in Bangalore somewhere. Self-tested like a million times. And I was like, yeah, we convinced with one test. But he kept sending auditions.
In case you changed your mind.
Okay. And these kids, like I told you how I found them. So yeah, and Adil was a great find. So everything just fell in place. I don't want to take too long. And
can I say something about from the cast
do
perspective?
someone else, please talk.
Yeah, she dealt with all kinds of energies. Mehdi came from another planet as far as the rest of us were concerned. He would sit there, what to say, and he used to get really angry that Rajiv and Sri ma'am had an off-camera friendship. Because
he was jealous.
He was jealous, and how?
That we all were.
That's one of the gifts I take away from this film. But amazing fights me and Mehdi would have. He would come up to him and say, you cannot talk to her, you cannot talk to her. I said, no, not talk to who? You cannot talk to Sri ma'am. I said, why? She's a friend. No, 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 she's, it's disturbing my preparation. I said, you go down the road, there's a park over there, go and prepare as much as you want in that park. So both me and Mehdi had very interesting exchanges. But so he didn't understand what I was doing in the film. He didn't know why we need a joker like this guy in the classroom. I mean, he literally said these words, but he called. He called from the Morocco Film Festival. He called, it was 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. here. He called and said, "You fat fool, I finally understand what you did in the film." They were laughing. So I said, "Yes, Mehdi, it's taken you all this time, but thank you. Thank you very much." Yeah, I have to give Gauri credit for having some special superpowers to deal with the energies here, because there were actors from New York. There was Mehdi from Jupiter, I think. Adil is a powerhouse himself. But the truth is, and I'm sorry, I'm coming back, Kosa, there was a glue. There was somebody on set there who never let the balance of the energy go off. There was someone who would come to the classroom scenes and make sure that everybody is feeling good, is feeling comfortable. She would make sure that everyone is seen on camera. She threw away so many jokes that were written for her. She gave them to my character, Rama, which made Rama even more memorable. But a lot of those came from Shri ma'am. So I don't think we can not talk about her. It's going to keep coming back to her. So,
no, and the classroom, whether it was the classroom scenes or the home scenes, it actually, one had to remind oneself, here is a superstar. This is a woman who has been, working, 300 films. I think English was the 300th film. So you had to keep reminding yourself, because she was such a team player. There was warmth. There was food. Simple thing. Food was shared. It was like, she was kind of, it was open.
Like
it was
the
an
buzz,
open
like how
dabba.
the classroom and
Yeah, so it didn't feel that, and I, Shri ma'am in her public persona has had such grace and elegance and some sort of a glass wall, which I think, of course, is important. Otherwise, you let the whole world in. But that was kind of her public persona. Otherwise, while working, it was kind of just such a joy. She was generous. She was generous with her time, with her. She taught. The Sapna and the Sagar. She was kind of. She kind of nurtured you all. I mean, you could tell that. Is there anything that you remember?
I have a really nice memory. Like, I don't exactly remember the whole thing, but I remember we were shooting in US and it was really cold because it was snowing. So like I was like shivering, and then she like removed her jacket and gave it to me. So like all of those things from her were very nice.
And that Michael Jackson move is so memorable. With
so she came up with this. This was Shri's contribution, actually. So I had something else in mind for like just one little quirk for Shashi's character to have. And since Shri is such a fan of Michael Jackson, she said, I'll do his step. And that's how the has happened. And that was her big input.
But Lakshman, do you remember that time when, first of all, when I came 2 days ago, when we all knew we were going to meet here, and I told Lakshman, will you be there? And he said, yeah, I'll be there. And he said something so wonderful. I mean, he's, of course, he's a cinematographer. He's a successful director. And he said, I keep looking for the English-Vinglish experience in every film that I do, and I don't find it. And that was something, actually, that's true. Do you remember that time जब वो scene करते करते वो cut बोलने से पहले Shri ma'am had stopped? Do you remember that?
Yeah, first of all, I'll tell you how I came in the film. So, Gauri and Balki sir called me at Town Wala House for the narration. And there was prawns fried, pomfret fried, bombil fry, everything was there. And I'm like, I'm doing this film. Because ये मस्त है, ये film करना चाहिए. But seriously, after reading the script, Balki sir, I mean, this film has given me so much. If I tell somebody that I have done Blue, I have done Boss, I have done Falana Dimka, people, okay, I have done English. So that respect, Balki sir, Gauri ma'am, seriously, all of you, I mean, for all of us actually, English has given lots of respect, and that respect is in safe deposit. इट्स एक्चुअल में बाहर बाल्के सर को बता रहा था ये जिंदगी भर काम आएगा. बाल्के सर ने मुझे कहा था जब फिल्म साइन कर रहे थे तब ये लक्ष्मण देयर इज नो सिनेमैटिक लिबर्टी इन दिस फिल्म. इट्स जस्ट अ सिंपल ड्रामा. इट्स अ स्टोरी. Yes, sir, you told me. Yeah. But actually that film was वो सोल था, आत्मा थी. वो जैसा आप जी रहे वैसे उसी तरह से उसको कैप्चर करना था. एंड थैंक यू सो मच गौरी. एक्चुअली मैं सबको बोलता हूँ, अभी मैं भी जब डायरेक्ट करता हूँ तो आपको ही सामने रखता हूँ कि यू हैव टू बी अ सेल्फिश डायरेक्टर. Whatever happens, like I have seen Gauri. Hi, how are you? And the moment somebody stands in front of you, move now! What is wrong with you? She's that lost in her thought, in her direction, and that's what every director has to be there, has to behave like this. Because, and you can see the output. When we saw the English, I like, what a film. It stays with us for forever. जिंदगी भर की कमाई है वो. मतलब कई सारी फिल्में बहुत सारा पैसा देके जाती है, कई सारी फिल्में बहुत सारा रिस्पेक्ट देके जाती है. And I think English is one of those. So thank you Gauri, thank you बाल्की सर, बोनी सर. इतने सारे लोग दिए प्यारे प्यारे. और सर नॉर्मली क्या होता है ना, एक फिल्म करने के बाद सबसे ज्यादा फेडअप होते हैं लोग डीओपी से. दोबारा उसकी शक्ल नहीं देखना चाहते. बट आज 10 साल बाद भी हम साथ में हैं. और ऐसा नहीं कि इवेंट हो इसलिए साथ में है. हक से बाल्की सर कभी मुझे हक से फोन करते हैं, गौरी कभी भी हक से फोन करते हैं. बोनी सर के साथ मेरा फैमिली जैसा सबके साथ रिलेशन है. और मुझे लगता है वो किसी भी फिल्म के क्रू से नहीं है आज तक, वो सिर्फ इंग्लिश के क्रू से है. एंड ये कितनी बड़ी अर्निंग है, कितनी बड़ी कमाई है. सो थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू सर.
म्यूजिक में भी गौरी ऐसी है.
म्यूजिक में तो नहीं म्यूजिक में तो म्यूजिक वाज अ जॉय राइड. ऐसा म्यूजिक बनाने का, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर द अनलकीएस्ट इन म्यूजिक टीम जो होती है ना, थोड़ी अनलकी होती है इस मामले में, क्योंकि वी नेवर गेट टू वर्क with the actors. We always see that later, but कि अच्छा ये गाने का ये बना और यहाँ पहुँचा है. तो never got a chance to work with Shri ma'am that way. I met her only in while the promotions we were doing, and but the first thing when like Balki and Gauri, they made me work with two of my most, मतलब विश लिस्ट किसी भी इंसान का इंडिया में होगा कि किसके साथ काम करना है. बाल्की बोला अमिताभ बच्चन के साथ काम कर, गौरी बोली श्रीदेवी मैम के साथ काम कर. तो ये दो काम करने को मिले. एंड अमित त्रिवेदी, माय फर्स्ट फिल्म विद हिम वाज इंग्लिश. it was just fun. एक भी मोमेंट, there was not one moment of sorrow or doubt or anything. Gauri was with us. All the songs, Naurai, we remember how we fought with the producers because they wanted a Punjabi song. And we had options written for Punjabi also, and this Marathi also, and then we finally Marathi came. With Gauri, I could write words like Dhak Dhuk because we and Gauri, we were क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, उसमें वो धाक धुक आया. दिस फिल्म इज वेरी वेरी स्पेशल फॉर मी फॉर वन मोर रीजन, बिकॉज माई देन शी वॉज 70. माई मदर got her break in this film to sing a song, Navrai Maji. So yeah, that was also there. So everything was just too special. This film is special. Not that हम यहाँ पे 10 साल का सेलिब्रेशन करने आए, बट मुझे नहीं मालूम था 10 साल है, पर मैंने ये फिल्म कुछ 5 दिन पहले देखी है. So this is one film which you go back to, like it's like YouTube पे भी खरीद के रखी हुई है कि जाके आप just watch it from somewhere, from wherever you want to watch it. Just one special.
All the Rama scenes, no?
Yeah.
Also, what is kind of surprising that after all those years that Shri ma'am was in a film finally, and to have Sridevi in a film and not have a dance, which was quite a brave decision.
Yeah. No, but I was so happy that she danced on Naurai.
Yeah, well, of course, and that kind of just lit up that screen, that red sari that she wore,
and one little thing, when she narrated us, me and Amit, in the town wala house, she narrated. Amit doesn't need. No. But when she narrated the script to us, we were crying, And when we watched the film for that was called the first cut. I think that was the cut. There was no cut after that. I don't think there was any other cut. There was only one cut. Yeah, there was, I remember that. Not a little, like little. But the first cut, we were crying equally. And I've never had that experience in my life. Watching the first cut and crying. First cut के बाद तो we cry that, अरे बाप रे क्या 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 न करना.
The crying, this thing reminds me. I remember the first day when we shot the wedding scene where Shashi ma'am gives her final speech, you know, and I was sitting and the script, the speech was not in the script that was given to all the other actors. So Shri ma'am, being Shri ma'am, she gave it in the first go. So that is when I had heard the speech for the first time, and she gave this beautiful speech about family and how parents are, and I'm just sitting there and listening to it, and I naturally started crying. After the shot got over, the LSE gang came to me and, oh, you're such a nice actress. We could see you cry, take the emotions. I was like, yeah, bro. A lot of practice. I'm like, thank you so much. But she did it just so beautifully in one go that now also when I watch it, the scene, it feels exactly like it felt when we heard it on set for the first time. So yeah, you cried watching the final cut the same way we cried during the shoot as well.
And you also made me cry.
Yeah, I think I made a lot of mothers cry.
You were beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Every time, you know, people come up to me, you know, you were in English, and I was always so amazed, like, how do they even remember this after 5 years, you know, because it's such a beautiful film, and it's so celebrated that even if they watched it like 2 years ago, I think it's going to stick. So if they can remember a face, I'm pretty sure they can even remember the emotions. So I always used to be grateful that, oh, they, you know, recognize me, but they used to be like, I always felt like slapping you. I was like, thank you, I guess. But yeah, I was a brat.
So which brings me to let's kind of bring this all back in together. 10 years, जो भी जितने भी साल गुजरे अब आगे भी जितने भी साल बीतेंगे, I think the relevance of what the emotional meaning of the film is timeless. One, of course, it's because of what the original content was, the script, and the way you brought it to life, and then how Shri ma'am interpreted it. क्योंकि 10 साल मतलब वो लगता नहीं है कि 10 साल बीत गए, because उसका जो emotional जो एक you know मादा है वो that remains. So do you feel, I mean, it started as a very personal thing for you. The core idea came from your mother's life, but now it's kind of taken on this universality. What say something about that?
I don't know. I still feel quite speechless. I have nothing to really say about that. I just really, really feel grateful that this is the first film that I ended up making. I mean, this is the first film, as in not just story-wise, this with an actress of this caliber and who just sort of just fit everything in place, and the joy of working with her, and the love that the film has received, and the love that still continues to be there. I mean, just everything about this film, I think from start to finish until now, it just feels like a special thing. In fact, it feels like it doesn't even belong to me. It belongs outside of me, and it's just not mine anymore. In fact, it stopped being mine when it came out, and I also look at it as, oh, this is such a sweet thing that happened. So yeah.
So I'm going to ask if anybody has any questions for any of us. Yeah, can we get a mic to him? Yeah. Or you can scream, we'll hear you.
Hi everyone. So I'm Samir Soni from Mumbai only. When Shriji was with us, we saw one Insta post of her with you, Gauri, and it was written over there, coming soon. So was there any plan of you making Vinglish 2 or any other movie with Shriji in future? Were there any kind of plans?
Not Vinglish 2, because both of us were very scared that a sequel to be made on this, we thought this should be untouched. So that was not the plan, it was something else. But this Rama here and Laurent, who played Laurent Mehdi, always wanted to make a sequel, and they kept telling us new stories of how there can be a sequel because they wanted to be part of that. Mehdi wanted to, Laurent wanted to come back to India, say, I come back to India, and then something happened, and maybe I meet her. So all of that he wanted to do. So, but no, I mean, yeah, it was tempting. But both of us were quite clear, she and me, that no, I mean, at least not now, because it just feels like we're touching something that was, sometimes you can't repeat the same thing.
Yes.
Magic happens once.
And also, Gauri rejected an early idea where Laurent comes to India looking for
Yes.
Shashi and falls in love with Rama.
Yes.
But she said it might not work, so we didn't pursue that
Hate us
idea.
two lovers.
Even we fans, after seeing that clip, we even started planning the story. Okay, this will happen. Noro will come back. Shri will have an affair with, and all that. We planned this story. Coming soon, yes. Insta post was there.
No, it was.
Yes, we were waiting for EV2.
Okay, so sweet. But no, it was just another idea brewing with us because I of course wanted to work with her and I was waiting for an idea which was worth her while. Just my desperation to work with her, I couldn't just have any idea. It had to be something which was worthy of her, which was worth her while. And though she was so sweet, so that Gauri, even when I made Dear Zindagi, she said, Gauri, I'll come as your assistant. I'll come with the... she was so lovely and so sweet. And I said, Sri, come and coach the actors because more than that, what else can you? So we used to talk about quite a few ideas and this was something and we really wanted to do it. But yeah, we wanted to work with each other like forever. So.
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
We'll take a couple more. Yeah, gentleman there.
Nothing. We were like two girls giggling our way to heaven. I mean, we were just so happy. She was actually such a child at heart. And we went around everywhere together to various festivals all around and we were just having a great time and laughing. I mean, that was it. We'd dress up, attend these things, laugh, make jokes about Mehdi. Somehow Mehdi's because his booth will. So, yeah, do this stuff. That's it. And yeah, we just traveled so much, ate food, laughed, and just enjoyed every moment. That English journey, Boni, it went on for quite a while. We traveled like everywhere. Of course, these two men were also there sometimes. So, yeah, so it was that. We were like two young girls.
Okay, we'll take one more question.
गौरी जी पहले तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन 10 साल पूरे हुए इस जर्नी में काफ़ी कुछ हुआ बट मेरा सवाल ये रहेगा श्री मैम ऑलवेज लव्स यू एंड वी ऑलवेज लव श्री मैम बट जानवी या फिर खुशी के साथ आने वाले समय में आप कोई ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट करते हुए नजर आने वाले हो मैम
हाँ हम नजर आएंगे I mean वो नजर आएंगे of course why not of course there is a thing we will and for sure there's no question.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've got the mic.
Yeah. Hi. First of all, congratulations to everyone. And Gauri ma'am, I don't know whether you remember, I met you at a flea market. When the film was released, and I congratulated you for two things. One, for bringing Sridevi ma'am back into our life. And second, for making such a wonderful landmark film. I just want you to run through quickly the first day of shooting with her. You as a director and her as an actor. The first day, you remember?
Yashraj.
Yeah, it was at Yashraj. We did started with that house scene. Actually, in sequence, her introduction as it comes in the film Exactly, that is how we started. I wanted to start as much as sequence, which is why we did India first, and then we also went like Shashi to New York. So it was all that, her tying up her hair, her making her coffee and tea, and all of that. It was lovely because she got into her sari, into her wardrobe. And no, before that, actually, Yashji came and met us. He came to the set because it was Yash, and he came and he looked at me and said, "Arey, आपको कैसे हाँ बोल दिया? मुझे तो ना बोला था." So I was very happy. I was like, "What do I do?" I just touched his feet. I said, "Thank you." So, and she was very embarrassed. She's saying, so we both were this only, like some school kids. So she was all of this, being Sridevi, and then she changed into her sari and she was transformed in that very second. That was the magic of her. It was not the star anymore. I mean, though we are aware, but just she transformed into Shashi. That hair, that, and when we said action, roll, that one rehearsal, and we were on. So it was so beautiful to watch that transformation first day, because I had not shot with her until then. We were doing rehearsals, we were meeting, we were doing dress trials, all of that. But this was that first moment. Yeah. And
Thank you once again on behalf of everyone for bringing her back.
thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
ए भाई ए बैठ के भाई इसको लड़ गया बड़ा ये भी जितने दिन को हम कट कर रहे हैं ये भाई इसमें बैठो अभी तो उधर बैठो टूटा हुआ है वो चेयर टूटा हुआ है आपको लग जाएगा नंबर यूज है लेकिन हाँ लड़ेगा